In this video, I'm going to discuss today's LEETCODE POTD, which is the increasing triplet subsequence. The question goes like, given an integer array nums, find if there exists a triplet where a triplet at indices I, j, k, where I, j, k and nums of I, nums of j, nums of k is in strictly increasing order. The test cases are as follows. If the inputs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will be true because there is a triplet 1, 2, 3, there is a triplet 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. There are various triplets. Okay, this would be false because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, there will never exist a triplet. 2, 1, 5, 0, 4, 6, there is a triplet 0, 4, 6, 1, 4, 6 and so on. So this is true. Okay, before going on to the pseudo code and the explanation part, I will say that there is a challenge of this code which demands that the time complexity should be big of n and the space complexity should be big of 1. So we can't use a naive approach, that is run a loop from I is equals to 0 to n, then inside it a loop of j is equals to I plus 1 to n, then inside this k is equals to j plus 1 to n, because it will be of somewhat big O of n cube complexity. So we can't use this because we have to do it in big O of n. So I will be discussing my logic, that is, let's say the triplet is this. Okay, this is a triplet. Now our aim is to take the array and we will initialize only the first two. In the code, in the pseudo code, we will be using just t1 and t2. We won't be using t3 because once we have found t3, we can return true. Okay, we can return true. So t1 and t2, we will be representing it in a number line, t1 and t2. So if our aim is to minimize t1 and t2 as much as possible so that we can place t3 in this area. Okay, in this area. So let's take this test case 2, 1, 5, 0, 4, 6. So first of all, we will be giving t1 as 2, that is the first element, and t2 as the maximum value of integer, that is infinity. Okay, so the number line would look like this, 2, and this is infinity. So t2 is over here, this is t1, and we will go on checking it. Okay, we will go on checking it. So we have checked 2 already, then we will be checking 1. Now 1 lies in this area, that is less than t1. Okay, less than t1. So if it's less than t1, our aim is to minimize t1 and t2. So obviously we can't minimize t2 to over here because t2 will become less than t1. So we will be making t1 over here. Okay, that is at 1, we'll be overwriting t1 as 1. Okay, now comes 5. 5 lies in this range. Okay, this is not less than 1, it's not greater than infinity, so it's in this range. So we can, let's say this is 5. So we can overwrite t2 at 5. 0 again over here, so we will overwrite t1 at 0. 4, it's over here, so now we can rewrite t2 at 4, and 6 is over here. Since we have got a number which is beyond t2 in the number line for the first time, so we will return true. Okay, if 6 would not be there, the answer would be false, because but since 6 is there, answer would be true. So let's write the pseudo code, that is int t1 is equals to its nums of 0, and int t2 is equals to max int. Okay, or if you're a Java programmer, you can write t2 is equals to integer dot max value, I guess. Yes, that's the code. Okay, and this is max int. Okay, this is if it's in Java, and this is if it's in CPP. So this is one thing, and then we have to run. Okay, one more thing, if the length of the array is lesser than 3, we can directly return false, because we know that there will never be a triplet, because we need at least 3 items to form a triplet. Okay, so now we will run a loop from I is equals to 1 to sorry to n. Now we have to check whether nums of I lies in which range. Okay, if it's greater than t2, that is over here. So sorry, if it's greater than t2, then we will return true. Okay, as we have discussed, it's greater than t2. But else, if it is greater than t1 but lesser than t2, so we will rewrite t2 as that number. Okay, t2 will become nums of I. Else, if nums of I, nums or num, I don't remember, the question says, okay, nums, okay, nums of I, if nums of I is less than t1, that is the only condition left. We couldn't have even written else, if even else would have done. But so in that case, we will be rewriting t1 as that element. Okay, t1 is equals to nums of I, and if nothing satisfies, then return false. I hope the code is clear. That is okay. Let me. My handwriting is not that good. So t1 is equals to nums of 0. t2 is equals to maximum integer that can be possible in the language. If length of the array is less than 3, return false. We will run a loop from 1 to n. I is equals to 1 to n. If nums of I is greater than t2, we will return true. If nums of I is greater than t1 and it's lesser than t2, we will make t2 as nums of I. Else, if nums of I is lesser than t1, we will make t1 as nums of I. And if nothing happens, if we do not return true in any of the conditions, we will return false. That's it. I hope the logic is clear. Thank you.